So God, Jesus, the big man, you know how like I've been really good? If you could like just slip, some more inches downstairs, I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe like Eiffel Tower size it up. That would be real cool. All right. Anyway, thank you, God. Amen.
Cut to an It's a Wonderful Life type scenario where his future ghost comes back and is like, Kendrick, what you wished for was your dick to be as big as the Eiffel Tower. And, well, I'm going to show you what happens with that scenario. First of all, you live on a first floor apartment. So immediately it penetrated through all 5 floors above you. And everybody was skewered by your massive cock that sprouted up in the middle of the night.
Hello and welcome to the Lyric Boys podcast. I am Lucian Flores, and with me, as always, is Andrew Stieglitz. Andrew, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody. So if you've never listened to this podcast, this is a podcast where me and Andrew take one of our favorite bands, one of our favorite musicians or artists, and we pick 10 of their craziest, wildest, most insane, most ridiculous, most absurd lyrics. We talk about them. We look at those lyrics and we find ways to make us laugh. It's not quite a music analysis podcast. We will be doing some analysis, but that analysis will most likely be just completely wrong.
Yeah, most of what we say is wrong. Even the stuff that we want to factually get right is usually wrong. Exactly.
But hey, you might learn something. I believe you will learn a little something. All right, that's my promise.
Even if that thing is the way to not do a podcast, you'll learn it.
Yeah. This is a exciting episode because this is our Kendrick Lamar episode. So I'm excited. Also, listeners, hey, we're back. We took a little break. We took a little vacation.
Lucian has not taken off that tie-dye shirt that he's wearing right now since we've been in Miami. Because the Miami sun, the beaches, it just the vibes got to him. He's a tie-dye man now.
My mind is still in Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. That's where I live at all time now.
Oh yeah, we resided there for a whole week.
That's been my vibe forever. So, hey, if you just like have no idea who Kendrick Lamar is, like I said Kendrick Lamar and you're like, who? I'm going to tell you who he is. All right, that's what we're going to do here.
Okay.
So Kendrick Lamar, i.e. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, which fantastic last name.
Yeah, that is a great last name.
Duckworth, one of the best. Also known as K. Dot in his early career. Well, he is a rapper. He's 33 years old and he's from Compton, California. So if you go to our favorite website, Wikipedia, and you're like, Wikipedia, what is Kendrick Lamar's genres? Wikipedia would say hip hop and jazz rap, which that makes sense. Jazz rap, like I would only think of as like one of his albums, but I guess it's the genres.
Well, I feel like I've seen other genres on Wikipedia. I've seen like socially conscious rap. I've seen, depending on the album that you look at.
When the Lyric Boys eventually get a Wikipedia page, I cannot wait to see what genres we are ascribed.
Stupid, dumb
podcast. All right, so Kendrick Lamar. Let me tell you a little bit about him. At 8 years old, young Kendrick Lamar was walking down the street, and what did he see? He saw Tupac and Dr. Dre filming a music video. And I guess that is the Kendrick Lamar origin story, okay? We'll just say that was the moment he's like, I'm going to be a rapper.
That's cool. That's a cool little anecdote. Like,
thank you.
To just see Tupac and, did you say Dr. Dre?
Yeah.
Filming a music video.
Especially Dr. Dre, because he like ends up working with them too. So, full circle.
And they're both Compton. They're both Compton boys.
Yeah. So in 2004, Kendrick Lamar, at 16 years old, releases his first mixtape under the name of K. Dot. He eventually gets a record deal at Top Dog Entertainment, which is like where he still is now. And he releases a ton of mixtapes. Overall, he's got 4 studio albums. So his first one in Section 80 in 2011. There's Good Kid, Mad City in 2012. To Pimp a Butterfly in 2015. And Damn in 2017. On top of that, he's got, I think I saw 5 mixtapes. He's got that untitled, unremastered album. And he also, it seems like he wrote and produced 14 songs on the soundtrack of Black Panther. So he's still busy, although he hasn't released an album since 2017. He's prolific. He's adored and celebrated. He's won 13 Grammys, and he's won a Pulitzer Prize, or if you want, Pulitzer Prize. What do we like?
I like Pulitzer. I feel like Pulitzer is... it's like, come on, man. What are we trying to be? What are we trying to be? What are you doing? Just say Pulitzer.
He won a Pulitzer Prize in 2018 for music for Damn. And apparently that was the first non-jazz or non-classical artist to win the award. So that's cool. So Kendrick Lamar, very prolific, very famous, known for his good lyrics. And of course, on this podcast, we're not necessarily going to talk about his best lyrics. We're just going to pick out his most absurd and his funniest lyrics. For as good as Kendrick Lamar's lyrics are, and as like prolific and profound, there's a lot of humor in his lyrics too. I think that was one thing that picking lyrics from this podcast, you almost forget how funny and witty he is at times, because we tend to think of him as like, just so
I tend
poignant.
to think of you. I think that he's seriously a genius. I mean, his lyrics are powerful. They can be read as poetry, like without listening to the music at all. There's so much depth, and there's so much like just like life experience behind his lyrics. Like you can really see, you really get a sense for his perspective and his wisdom. He is a genius in my mind.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner, so you have to be. But yeah,
that'd be pretty smart. Well, eventually, when we win the Pulitzer Prize for podcasting,
hell yeah,
that will that might change your mind.
So, 2 Kendrick things. One is that there's this video out there somewhere of like a high school class, I guess, studied To Pimp a Butterfly. And so Kendrick like came and surprised the class and maybe performed like for the school, which is so cool. Like,
yeah,
that's wild. Imagine.
Oh my God.
And the second thing is, one thing that makes picking lyrics from rappers harder is there are so many lyrics. Like so many. Like the average Kendrick song has so many lyrics. It's like, it is nuts. It's hard to pick from so many lyrics. It's not like a standard rock song, which, some bands are super lyrical and have a ton, but some bands keep it simple. Yeah. Kendrick is speaking a lot. He's saying a lot of things. He's rapping a lot. He's got a lot of words. What's your favorite Kendrick album?
Probably To Pimp a Butterfly, followed quite closely by Damn. But To Pimp a Butterfly has the funk in it, and it's got George Clinton. It's got Thundercat, who I fucking love as a bass player. And it's just got all those like P-Funk 70s inspired sounds throughout it, in addition to all the jazz. Yeah. So very fucking cool. Such a great vibe. Also, some of the songs like The Black of the Berry is just like, oh my, you read that song, you read it, you can read that song, because I was doing that to pick lyrics. You read it and you're just like, whew, yeah. That's what's also funny about just finding the most ridiculous lyrics too, because you'll read like the good ones, you'll be like, oh, that's really poignant. Is it good fodder for the podcast? Maybe not. No, definitely not. Imagine joking about us. Yeah, there's some that is just like, we don't joke about that here. Yeah.
I think my favorite Kendrick album was Good Kid, Mad City, but that was also the first one that I had heard of his. I think that was my introduction to him. And all his albums are very specific, right? Like, and that one just, I think... was
That's
exciting.
A really good one. Yeah.
It was it was I think one of the first things I heard was Money Trees, which is still one of my favorite songs. But that is a Beach House sample of the song Silver Soul.
Got it. I didn't know that.
And so that was cool to see like this awesome rap album that also sampled Beach House. And I was like, oh, wow, look at that. And then like they're just the energy of that album too, like Backseat, Freestyle, and like Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Those are, I think, like the first few songs I heard of his, and I was like, wow, these are very
Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe and Swimming Pools were the first two songs. I think both of them, one of or both of them was on GTA 5, and I will shamelessly say that was how I discovered Kendrick.
Hell yeah. I mean, these bands put their songs in video games for a reason. Yeah, driving around Los Santos listening to Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. It is pretty great. Sounds like a vibe.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's Kendrick Lamar. And before we dig into the lyrics, I want to say a couple more things. All right? Will you permit me to do that? You have no choice. I'm speaking in your ear.
Damn it. I do have a choice. I can edit this out. I'm the editor, but I will let you fucking ramble on.
Thank you. All right, so here are the things. 1, we had our hearts warmed the other day. Our hearts filled with joy when we saw that people left reviews of this podcast, and I just didn't realize that. So we saw 2 reviews that were written somewhat recently, both very nice, and I just want to read them out. So the first one is someone named Silence from Australia, which
I don't know if that's their personal name. That's definitely their username. But when you say it's someone named Silence, it implies that they're like Batman.
So Silence
listened
to the Lyric Boys podcast and said, "So good. Literally my music taste in pod form. Excited to hear what's next." Well, I'll tell you, Silence, this is what's next. All right. Also, thank you for liking your music taste in pod form. So me and Stieglitz collectively create your music taste, which that's exciting to me.
And if your name is actually Silence, I apologize for making fun of it. Fucking cool ass name.
And Silence is from Australia, which I've never been to. So we're warming the ears of Australians. How exciting is that?
That is exciting.
The second one is someone named Travman25. Once again, I assume that's the person's real name.
Nope, that's probably. Oh, yeah. That is his real name. Yeah.
Travman25. Yeah.
25,
from a little country
called parents.
From a little country called the United States of America. Heard of it? So this person wrote, "This podcast is a highlight of my dull pandemic days. Amazing. We want to be there with you during the doldrums of the pandemic, and then we also want to be with you post-pandemic when you're having exciting times as well." All right. So listen, if you guys like this podcast, you can leave a review. But what is, and we'll read it. It's appreciated. But what is the biggest top dog lyric boy content hound thing to do is to subscribe or follow this podcast. If you're a fan of this thing that we call the Lyric Boys, follow it, subscribe, and you'll always be alerted when an episode comes out. So you don't ever have to miss one, because we know missing this podcast would send you into turmoil.
It sends me into turmoil when I miss it.
Yeah. And then also we're on Beats Per Minute, which is a great music website, and I recommend them as well. Check out their website, give them some love as well. So without further ado, let's get into the lyrics. My first Kendrick lyric. Do you want to know what it is?
Yes, I do, King.
Thanks, King. It's a little ditty called "Fuck Your Ethnicity."
Oh, a little ditty. Love that ditty. Love that tune.
Off of the album Section 80.
I love that number.
Amazing title. Yeah. It's the type of, how they talk about, like, when you hear people talk about quote unquote content, and they're like, we want to make quote unquote lean forward content. And it's just like mumbo jumbo AdWords.
Yeah.
Fuck Your Ethnicity to me is lean forward content.
Yeah.
I hear that, and
I think brand. I think great branding. I think progressive content.
All right. So the lyric is, "Now I don't give a fuck if you black, white, Asian, Hispanic. God damn it, that don't mean shit to me. Fuck your ethnicity." Amazing. Iconic lyric.
Yeah. Do you think that if it's interesting to hear that, because depending on the person who says it, it can have totally different implications, right?
Yeah.
So like if a Fox News correspondent said that,
Yeah.
let's say there was like race turmoil in this country, which there always is, and a Fox News anchor is just like, I don't give a fuck if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, you have to follow the laws of this country. Totally different context than what Kendrick is saying here.
Yeah, this is a song that is it's a song where it wants everyone to get along, I'd say. But I do like the idea that someone's listening to this and you're like, my ethnicity? What's wrong with being Italian Ecuadorian? Kendrick,
he didn't mention Italian Ecuadorian. He just said white, which he said white and
Asian, Hispanic, black.
Right. So, are there people out there you think who are going to get offended, be like, I am from Ukraine. You are not mentioning me in this.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I've never heard that sentiment of like a positive song about like not, it's like a song where it's like, let's put aside our differences in our backgrounds or whatever, right?
Hell yeah, I love that.
But the idea of coming from that, from a fuck your ethnicity, is great. That's very playful and cool, I think.
Do you want to hear my first lyric?
Not only would I like to hear it, I would love to hear it.
Okay.
Oh, fine, cool. All right.
My first lyric comes from the song For Free off the album To Pimp a Butterfly. This is a great, like, free jazz flowing song. I don't know what you would call the jazz in this. It's just like, it's like quick, like improv style, almost jazz. Anyway, one of the lines he says,
showing the audience how well informed we are of the world. sorry, we're
it's like a fucking stroke.
We're revealing to our audience how well we know the beautiful American music genre of jazz.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
By being like, this is a jazz ditty.
It's one
type of jazz is fun jazz.
It's got like trumpets and shit, so it's probably like a jazz. Meanwhile, it's not remotely close to jazz. So the lyric is, you really think we could make a baby named Mercedes without a Mercedes-Benz and 24-inch rims? There's a lot of lyrics. There's so many lyrics in that song. It's like a lot of fucking lyrics.
I'm surprised that this is the lyric you chose.
That's the lyric. That's the lyric. I'll tell you why, because it's just
paint
like...
a picture of the audience. This is a song where Kendrick Lamar repeatedly goes, this dick ain't free. And...
yeah. Well, also the song... there's a large, like, cultural and racial implication in this song of, like... African-American labor building this country, right? So I chose not to talk about the very important, powerful message of this song. Of course. Because it's not, first of all, not the time and place for me to talk about that. But this line in particular is a little bit different because I picture Kendrick and his loving wife with whom he is having a baby because they are married, and that's the only way that people have babies, as far as I understand.
I've listened to enough Frank Sinatra to know what happens if you make whoopee. All right.
Yes. So anytime Kendrick is talking about, or anybody for that matter, is talking about having a baby, I picture them married. I picture them in a house with a mortgage that's already paid off and a beautiful, pristine front lawn. And so Kendrick here is talking to his loving wife, and he said, and his wife's like, why don't we name the baby Mercedes? And Kendrick is like, how can we name a child after something that we don't own? Which is like, I feel like in this instance, if she were to say like, why don't we name him Table? it would make more sense in Kendrick's eyes because he's like, yes, I know table. I have table. I have eaten at a table. It's part of my cultural milieu, if you will. So we should name our child Table over Mercedes because he's like, I can't name a child after something I don't know.
It's also, for this Mercedes has smaller than 24-inch rims. It's like also can't name the child. It's like we have a Mercedes Benz, but it's like the rims are too small.
Because it's like, imagine the child is like, Dad, why is my name Mercedes? And the dad then has to explain that he was too poor to afford a Mercedes. So this kid was the next best thing. But really, what he wanted was a Mercedes. So unfortunately, he had to settle for the kid, right? That's traumatizing. Whereas if you name the kid like Wallpaper, it's like, I have that. You are more important than the wallpaper in my house. That's why I named you Wallpaper. Because it's like, you are the wallpaper to my life.
Mercedes is probably the best car brand to be named after, though. I would say that. What other car brand would make an adequate name? Lincoln?
McLaren
Stieglitz. And Lincoln Flores out hitting the town.
McLaren. If your first name is McLaren, you'd wear ascots and polo like what are those polo like sweater vests that like people
polo
like
Ralph Lauren?
Yeah, like Ralph
vests
Lauren
that are tied that are pastel pink.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And you go out on your yacht.
I've seen
with
enough
the boys.
Vampire Weekend album covers to know this aesthetic.
Exactly. Yes, you go out on the yacht with your boys. I would love to be named McLaren Stieglitz, but I can't have like Stieglitz as a last name with that. That's way too like Jewish and Eastern European sounding. I need like McLaren Dewitt.
Be proud of who you are.
I am, but if I was named McLaren, I wouldn't be named Stieglitz. Like, I feel like somebody who's naming their kid McLaren is not breeding with a Jew.
Breeding. So, my grandma's name is Mercedes. So that's a fun fact.
Your grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Your actual real grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know that.
Mercedes. There
That's
you go.
Cool.
It all.
And I'm guessing your parents must have owned a Mercedes in order to name her that.
Of course, right? Yeah. Because my parents named my grandma. That's how it works. So
I'm all sorts of confused right now. Let's move on to
the music video for the song has an amazing moment where Kendrick Lamar's got his face pushed up against a door or a window, and like the blinds open and his face is there, and he's pushed up against the window, and he just goes, "This dick ain't free," and it's hilarious. Yeah. Like, it's such a vibe.
I feel like I quote that sometimes randomly. I'll just be like, "This dick ain't free."
It's a great song. It's like, it's one of those songs that just like, Kendrick, how do you say this many words this fast?
Yeah, you need like a fucking inhaler to do that.
Yeah. All right, so my second song that I'm pulling lyrics from is The Art of Peer Pressure off of Good Kid, Mad City.
This is another one of those songs where you read it or you listen to it and you're like, fuck, he fucking weaves a tail.
This is like one of those songs that has like 3 separate parts that are all like one big story, right? This is the one that's like about the failed robbery and hanging with the friends, right? So the lyric is, smoking on the finest dope, drank until I can't no more. Really, I'm a sober soul, but I'm with the homies right now. So, normally I don't smoke, normally I don't drink. I'm a sober guy, but tonight I'm with my friends and I'm shit-faced. This is a great classic excuse that's like, Andrew, why is your head just full on submerged into a bag of fine Miami cocaine? You're like, this isn't me normally, but I'm out with my friends tonight.
I imagine like a guy who's like, guys, you know, I wouldn't normally get this fucked up, right? But like, I'm with the homies right now. And they're like, dude, we hang out every day. And you're like, I know. If I wasn't with you guys, I'd be totally sober. And they're like, no, you wouldn't. We see you every day. We live together. We're roommates. And he's like, well, I'm hanging with the homies.
It's like, listen, Jeffrey, all right, come here, sit down, close the door, right? So you've been working here at Viacom for 3 months now, and every day you are shit-faced in your office. That's a little concerning. You're like, oh, hold up, Mr.
Listen,
Boss
normally
man.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, okay? I come in to this place right here, and this place is where I am with the homies, okay? That's the only reason.
They're like, your coworkers have filed, let's check the numbers, 93 complaints about you.
I don't see them as coworkers. I see them as friends, compadres,
homies, if you will.
Homies, if you will. Yes.
Sir, you are from Minnesota, and you are white.
Look.
So yeah. This is the classic excuse too. That's like, I'm normally a well-behaved guy, but when my friends are around, I'm a bad boy now.
Yeah. Which means your friends only see you as that bad boy. So it's like, when are you not? When you're just at home sleeping like for 8 hours?
Wow. Everyone who's listening to the podcast, take a second to think about all the different people in your life and how they might see you and how those are different. And to different people, you mean a different thing, right? That's kind of trippy, am I right? Normally, I'm not introspective, but guys, I'm with the homies now. Yeah, this could be the opposite. Like, the opposite of this is someone who parties all the time, but then they have their like nerd friend group, right? They're like, why are you guys like discussing astrophysics? You should be like getting drunk. You're like, excuse me, I'm with the astrophysics homies.
Yeah, I'm with exactly. Normally, I don't discuss astrophysics, but I'm with the homies. You want to hear my second lyric?
Give it to me, King.
It's from the song XXX or Triple X. I don't know how you say it. Off the album Damn.
Sorry. Amazing confusion. I just love the idea of you walking around Times Square in the 70s being like, there's a lot of movies playing here. Movies, what are these things?
You know, the movies. The lyric is very simply, throw a steak off the yacht to a pool full of sharks. He'll take it. Again, a song with a lot of lyrics. However, think about the imagery that this lyric paints. Throwing steak off of a yacht to a pool full of sharks. Now, if that don't spell rich, I don't know what does.
So that's the type of thing that's like, I want to be there. I want to be doing that. That'd be so much fun. If I were just on a yacht, I assume incredibly sunburnt and just shirtless, a little buzzed, glasses askew. I've got steaks in my hand, and I'm just throwing them into the ocean, watching sharks eat them. And everyone's like, don't do that. Don't feed the sharks. Why are you doing that? You're normally a really mild-mannered, well-behaved person. I'm just like, listen, guys, I'm with the homies.
I'm with the homies. Just out of control. But also, you're so rich that like maybe your homies are also just like, well, we bought 300 pounds worth of prime steak, and we're just going to throw it into the water and feed it to the sharks because we can, because that's the kind of money we got.
Yeah. There's those things that you can do in your life that are just like objectively fuck you money.
Yeah.
Owning a yacht is one of those things.
Yeah.
Like the fact that some people own like boats where they have to like hire a crew to even use it is nuts to me.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, when I eventually get my millions or my billions, when we eventually get it from the Lyric Boys residuals.
Yeah.
And
before you take it all from me in a power grab.
Podcast syndication. Yes, before we have a massive Eagles style falling out.
Hell yeah.
I don't think
Henley
that
in this bad boy.
I don't think that I would ever want, like, I could think of like a lot of other ways to spend my money before buying a yacht. One of those ways would just be to throw steaks off of like the docks. Right? Like if I'm going to blow money on throwing food into the ocean, I would just buy more food to throw into the ocean rather than buy less food and also a yacht.
I would just simply give all the money to charity.
Okay. That's interesting.
And I would make it known. I would tweet that I'm giving all my money to charity.
Yeah, you probably
and then I would not give all my money to charity. But people would think I gave all my money to charity. My buddy McLaren Dewitt. Do you want to hear my third lyric?
Call me McLaren Dewitt, please.
All right, McLaren Dewitt.
Yes, I would like to hear your third lyric.
My third lyric comes from the song Humble off the album Damn. So
such a good song.
Such a great song. And the music video is one of those things that, like, when it came out, you saw so many people copy some of the effects in that music video. Like, because there was like a couple, the music video is iconic, but there's a lot of like strange visual effects and like in-camera trickery things that after, like, watch that video and then like you'll be like, oh, I've seen other people try to do this.
Okay.
Like,
I rarely watch music videos these days.
The Damn one, I just remember like everyone watching, but that could have just been me. So, and I'm everyone.
Wow, you got a fucking
solipsism is my god, king.
So you're getting fucked up and like drinking and smoking, and your excuse is that you're with the homies, but really you are the homies.
Yeah,
you are.
Always got to be your number one homie.
You are your own homie.
There's a couple lyrics I want to take here. One is just, there's a lyric here that in the song is great. Pulled out of the song, I'm just imagining this is the nerdiest way to hit on a woman ever. Like, Kendrick sings it and it's cool, but like anyone else saying this, you'd be like, sir, get help.
Yeah.
Say the line. Is so uncomfortable. The lyric is, ooh, that pussy good. Won't you sit it on my taste buds?
Yeah. Taste buds. Not tongue. Also sit it. The whole way this is phrased is perplexing to me.
Yes. I just love the idea that like this is someone who's like trying to be too clever. Like who's like, if I phrase this in an interesting, unique way, it will disguise how weird this is. This is like the kind of like thing that I imagine like, what's the word? Incel, right? Or like someone who's like milady, right?
Yeah, fedora wearing incel.
Tip your fedora, you're like, milady.
Milady?
Would you kindly sit that majestic, powerful pussy on my taste buds, please? And it's like, yes. You are not a knight, sir. You phrasing things weird does not make you.
Also, do you think that in medieval times this is how they asked women to like
kindly
participate in sexual activities?
Oh, good lady, could you kindly back that ass up?
Kind wench, wouldst thou put thine pussy on my taste buds?
I mean, yeah, I think they probably did talk like that. That's what I imagine everything in middle I don't know, 1400s. That's what I imagine life was like.
Yeah, you think like King Ferdinand or whatever the fuck, Isabella, they're getting freaky like that? The ones who sent Columbus on that trip?
Yeah, you know it. I mean, they were getting freaky back in the day. We know that.
They were probably more freaky than we are now. I mean, they were like fucking each other's cousins and stuff.
That's true.
I mean, their own cousins, not each other's. I mean, probably each other's, but definitely their own.
I just love the idea
I'm going to stop
like,
talking right now.
You almost said that like disappointingly. You're like, oh man, they were so much freakier back then. They were allowed to do their cousin.
No, I didn't say it disappointingly. I did not. I was just saying that's freaky to do that. I don't want to do that. We got a
Roosevelt over here. Am I right, King?
Did Roosevelt do that?
Well,
and which one?
Eleanor and FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, were cousins, but not like close cousins, but still cousins.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so there's another lyric in this that is similar to me, which is, I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro on Richard Pryor. Show me something natural like ass with some stretch marks. Great sentiment. right? It's like, don't adhere to these ridiculous standards of beauty and give me something real. Wild example. Like, this is the type of thing that's also great. It's like Kendrick able to say something really profound, but also make it really funny. Because that is a funny lyric. There's no way that is not funny.
Afro on Richard Pryor. Ass with some stretch marks. Love it.
Yeah.
It checks off all of the things that I would want in my non-photoshopped models.
Yeah. Well, I love the idea that you're like, I just need something real in this world. You know, everyone is so damn fake. Yeah. I need someone to speak to you who can communicate and be honest and be real. Like, ass with some stretch marks. And you're like, oh, wow. All right. You had me the whole way, but that is a perplexing example there, Lucian. I thought you were going to say, like, I don't know, like nature or like squirrels or something.
Ass with some stretch marks is as real as it gets, man.
Hell yeah, King. We stand. Realness.
So you want to hear my third lyric? I
would love that so much.
So my third lyric is from the song Lust off of Damn. And this is a long one, so bear with me.
So put on your seatbelts, fam.
Wake up in the morning thinking about money. Kick your feet up. Watch you a comedy. Take a shit, then roll some weed up. Go hit you a lick. Go fuck on a bitch. Don't go to work today. Cop you a fit or maybe some kicks and make it work today. Hang with your homies, stunt on your baby mama, sip some lean, go get a pistol, shoot out the window, bet your favorite team, play you some Madden, go to the club or your mama's house. Whatever you're doing, just make it count. What Amazing. A fantastic day. If I could wake up and have this day every day, I think that would be my heaven.
Well, that would be an action-packed day. That would be
every day
is a busy one. There'd be some things in that day that would be out of the ordinary for my normal life. Let's just say.
Yeah, a few things.
Maybe getting a pistol and shooting out the window is not something I do.
Oh, I was going to say play Madden. I haven't played Madden in a while.
You're like, yeah, I do all the other stuff, just not play Madden.
Yeah, Madden's been a few years. But,
I love the positive vibes of this song, in which it's like play some Madden, just make it count. You know, like whatever you do, make it count. Obviously great lesson, right? Like that's genuinely a good lesson.
Yeah, well, so that is actually very Eckhart Tollean, because our favorite spiritual teacher on this podcast, who we're only mentioning right now, but I am an avid fan. Lucian also is a stan of Eckhart. But basically, he says literally the same thing. He's like, if you're going to have a day where you're dedicated to like, I'm being lazy today, I'm not doing anything, then fucking do it. If you're going to have a day where you're like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get this bread, well, then also do that. But do both of those things with the same amount of conviction. Because if you're going to have a day where you wake up and you're like, oh, I have all these goals, or like I have like stuff I want to do, but I'm not sure, and blah, blah, blah. Don't like flounder back and forth. Just like fucking commit to being lazy. Just commit to it. And you'll find that lazy day is almost the same amount of fulfilling as like achieving your goals.
There we go. Do that with Madden. Boom.
Yeah, I love that because then it helps. Because like you do need those days. You need those days to play Madden. You can't be getting this bread every day.
So one of the things on this list that I just don't know what it means at all.
Okay.
And I'm curious is go hit you a lick. I've never heard that.
Yeah, I don't know what that means either.
What does hit a lick mean? It means on the internet it says it means to basically get a lot of money.
Okay.
Very quickly. Usually illegally by robbing and stealing or gambling, potentially. I don't know. Never heard of it before. Now I will use it in my daily life. I will not do that. Don't worry.
I feel like this, the list of these things is like so, not only is it random, it's like the order that you would do this in, right? Wake up in the morning thinking about money. Okay, that's fine. Kick your feet up. Watch you a comedy. All right, first thing in the morning. Yeah, that is surprising. And it's not like brush your teeth. It's watch you a comedy.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking about money, which makes me think you're like anxious about like making money, and you're like, all right, let me watch a comedy movie. I'm putting on Billy Madison.
Yeah, let me watch Billy Madison. What's interesting also is that the first thing. I mean, it says take a shit after you watch a comedy, right? Usually it's the opposite. You wake up and you do your morning routine, brush your teeth, shower maybe. But this, Kendrick is like, no, wake up, think about money, watch a comedy, take a shit, and then go fuck on a bitch. I don't know if that means go have sex with a woman or if it just means like... I don't know.
Just the way you phrase that is very innocently.
Go have sex with a woman, or if it's just like go fuck on a bitch to me can also imply like go bother somebody, like just fucking like be annoying to somebody. Don't go to work today, but copy a fit, go shopping, some kicks, hang with your homies. It's just a very random thing of just like it feels like a man who's like almost doesn't have any like agency over himself, and he's like being controlled by God, and God is just like, now you're gonna go shopping, now you're gonna go fuck on a bitch, now you're gonna go stunt on your baby mama. And it's just like, I don't know, he's just deciding to do these things.
It makes me think of our Charlie Bliss episode in Blown to Bits, where she was just singing about all these things that she's gonna miss when the world ends. And it was like a seemingly just like kind of random thing. So it's like, oh yeah, I will miss that when the world ends. This song is similarly, it's like you can come up with a list of anything here. This song could be literally anything. It could be wake up in the morning thinking about my anxieties. But it's literally anything. Just make it count. Whatever you're doing, make it count. Thank you, K. Dot.
Nike, make it count.
Yes.
All right. Fourth lyric. Hit me.
I'm going to do the song PNP, which is from the Kendrick Lamar EP mixtape. So I did not know the song before this podcast.
What is the Kendrick Lamar EP?
Or mixtape. Basically, this is a song that Kendrick made in his early days and then re-recorded it for another mixtape and changed lyrics. Okay. I was just listening and looking at a lot of different Kendrick. And I was
this like pre-Section 80?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I just like this lyric. You'll see why. It's a long one. This is a really long one.
Oh, strapped in. I'm ready to go.
But so PNP. Before I get into these lyrics, I want you to think, PNP. I wonder what that could stand for. Oh, you're scared. All right. All right. Here's the lyric. I said, keep reading my diary when my life's entirely surrounded by the irony of living in the city. I said they wouldn't hire me. I said I got my ass beat. And the only thing can help me is ass and some titties. So what's up, baby? I said, what's up? I had a long day and I really want to fuck. See, I ain't trying to think about no phone bills, credit card late fees, Capital One, popping up on my caller ID, pawning my chain in the shop, watching for hollow tip shots, watching my vehicle break down in another man's block. Man, that's my worst fear. Ain't that your worst fear? When your transmission go out and can't switch gears, or run through a pothole at 2 a.m, scared to hit your emergencies because they'll be on it. See, I know when the harsh reality takes its toll. Open your contacts, then scroll. And then at this point in the song, a woman's voice just goes, hey, what's up, daddy? Then Kendrick says, I'm going through something with life, but pussy and Patron make you feel all right. Pussy and Patrol make you feel all right. Pussy and Patron. That's some great advice. All right, that's the lyric. That's the whole, I did a lot.
Wow, I honestly thought PNP was going to stand for like Pagliacci and pine cones. Just like PPN. Really good opera and a really good smell.
Amazing. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot.
It's a lot. But okay, so I will say what's funny to me about this. He's having a bad day. that much is clear. He's having a not so great day. His life's anxieties are getting on him in general too, right? And he's like, I've already said I've had a pretty shitty day, because earlier in the song he talks about like these shitty things. So he's like, they wouldn't hire me. I got my ass beat. And Kendrick is like, I just need ass and titties. Like, it's like he's coming home after a hard day, and like his like wife is being supportive, but he's like, I don't want to talk to you about my problems. I just want to have sex
and to drink.
Right? It's like,
to drink tequila.
Yeah. So I also like the idea that like at this point he's like, I had a long day and really want to fuck. And I feel like the other person at that point would be like they might be like, sure. And then Kendrick is like, okay, I don't want to think about all these things. And then he proceeds to list all the things he wants to think about. And the other person's like, all right, like I've already agreed to this. I don't need to hear this list.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do love, I don't know. Kendrick is like obviously humble, for example. In the song Humble, he's very confident and very like the most like super confident. And in this song it's kind of fun to see him taking the more anxious, more stressed out by life's problems vibe, which
everybody's got their stresses, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is that he says Pussy and Patron, he loves that, and then he ends it with, that's some great advice. I don't know who told him that advice. It sounds to me like he's making it up and then like claiming it's great advice.
Right. Yeah. It sounds like he's the one that's like, listen, kids, I'm going to impart this wisdom on you. 2 things you need to make you feel better in life. And he's got like his son on his knee. He's like bouncing on his knee. He's like, son, one day you're going to tell your son this. Pussy and Patron. Let's say this. Kendrick, maybe that's not the most sound advice. However, in your extremely like deep catalog of wisdom in your lyrics, we can let that one slide.
Wow.
You want to hear my?
I was like, oh, thank God. My friend McLaren Dewitt just told me that he can let this slide. I was so nervous he was gonna.
Yes, my name is McLaren Dewitt. And I have an investment opportunity for you. How would you like to own a yacht and throw some seared steak off of it into some shark-infested waters?
Amazing.
Let's shoot that commercial.
Andrew, give me your 4th Kendrick Lamar lyric.
Yeah, my 4th lyric is pretty quick. It's a pretty quick one. It's from the song Swimming Pools off Good Kid, Mad City.
Swimming pools drank.
And the lyric is simply, I see you joking. Why you laugh? Don't you feel bad? That line resonates with me because, sometimes I feel bad. And when I feel bad and I see other people happy, I'm just like, no, fuck you. Why are you happy? And that is my toxic thought of the day.
And that is the Lyric Boys toxic thought of the day. If you have a toxic thought to submit, please at the Lyric Boys on whatever social media platform you are and share your toxic thought.
Hey, we all have them. We all have them. You ever do that though? You ever like in a shitty mood and you're just like, fuck you for being happy. Fuck your happiness. I do that. Okay. All right. I mean, okay. Thank you. You know what? Fuck your happiness. Okay.
Occasionally, I tend not to like, for example, Instagram never gets me down as a platform, even though I know that's like one that like people are like, oh, these people are having fun and I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one. I know I've already admitted it's a toxic thought and you shouldn't have it, but like, hey, sometimes it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I do that for sure, but that's not my go-to thing.
Right.
That's not my go-to anxiety, I guess. But, so I also, I could also see this like making a joke about someone else. So you're like, oh, that Andrew Stieglitz over there, he's got a dumb brain, and everyone laughs, and then like someone stops me and it's like, hey, I see you're joking. Why are you laughing? Don't you feel bad? You just made fun of that man.
And he's so stupid. He doesn't understand what you're even saying right now.
It's like someone at a roast. It's just like raises their hand like, excuse me, why are you doing this? Well, that guy's your friend. Why are you doing a whole 5-minute set about why he sucks?
They invite a comedian to a roast who doesn't understand roasts. And he gets up and they're like really excited for him to perform. And he's like, I am shocked and appalled at what I've heard here today. You people should be ashamed of yourselves.
I think
I've
said this.
Like Pete Davidson, how do you not understand what roasts are?
I've said this to you. I don't like roast comedy. I like it's never been my vibe. It's just not my thing. Like any comedy that's like very
mean spirited.
Yeah, mean spirited, but even like things that are just like complaining all the time. Like complaining is fine, but like roasting annoys me. And it's like fine if that's your thing, whatever. But I unironically sometimes think this way during roasts. Just like, how can you say that? Yeah.
That's so innocent of you.
Whenever I go to a comedy show, I'm always in fear of being roasted. You know, I hate crowd work. Crowd work makes me like grip onto the seat like I'm delivering a baby.
Yeah, I don't want to be roasted. I usually do not sit in the front couple of rows, but I enjoy watching people get roasted. That's fun. If it was happening to me, though, I'd be like, oh no.
My dream is to go to a comedy club and the comedian's like, look at this fucking idiot in the first row. And then he looks at me and he's like, wait a minute, you're not an idiot. You're really smart. Stand up, sir. Everyone clap. Clap for this man. Look how cool he is.
Yeah. That'd be a real hit.
They're like, sir, I'm sorry. When I said look at this idiot in the first row, I did not know that such a fine specimen like you would be sitting there.
Man discovered in front row of comedy show to be what world was looking for this whole time.
Signed to CAA and has 3 show
world
deal.
peace achieved because of just the look of this man. You see like world leaders all shaking hands and they're like, now that's one thing we can all agree on.
Amazing.
Oh, you want to hit me with your last lyric?
Yes. Yes, I would love to hit you with my last lyric. So, my last lyric is from Backseat Freestyle off of Good Kid, Mad City. This is like early in the album, so it's like the song represents like Kendrick as like a younger teen who's just like who is like seduced by fucking the world, basically. Like a young teen who like wants to like be cool and like it's kind of like what his mind is, right? So the lyric is, all my life I want money and power, respect my mind or die from lead shower. I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. So love that. Always thought this was such a funny lyric because it's like clearly Kendrick is talking about like a young like being that age and like wanting to like have sex with everyone, like wanting to be hot shit, right? And he pushes that to like the most extreme example, which is wanting your dick to be as big as the great monument, the Eiffel Tower.
A medical condition that would be an absolute travesty to your body because the blood would not be able to flow through the rest of your veins.
And then it's also like in his mind, he thinks that if his dick was as big as the Eiffel Tower, then that would allow him to fuck the world for 72 hours.
No more, no less.
Yeah. It's just like a great, like, internal mind thing that of just like a scrappy, like hotshot wannabe is just like, oh man, that would be awesome. It's also like, I love it. I love it so much. I love the imagery of like Kendrick Lamar praying at the foot of his bed as a child, being like,
Yeah. "Dear
Dear Lord, I've been very good. I've eaten all my food. I've complimented my parents. I've done my homework." And so God, Jesus, the big man, you know how like I've been really good. If you could like just slip, some more inches downstairs, I'm thinking like, I don't know, maybe like Eiffel Tower size it up. That would be real cool. All right. Anyway, thank you, God. Amen.
Cut to an It's a Wonderful Life type scenario where his future ghost comes back and is like, "Kendrick, what you wished for was your dick to be as big as the Eiffel Tower. And, well, I'm going to show you what happens with that scenario." First of all, you live on a first floor apartment, so immediately it penetrated through all 5 floors above you, and everybody was skewered by your massive cock that sprouted up in the middle of the night. Okay, second of all, it has become a hotbed for conspiracy theories and for international terrorist groups to try and take over. Okay, you can't walk. You're dead right now in your bed because all of the blood in your body went to your penis. Okay, it's caused World War III. People are trying to nuke your dick. People are saying it's aliens. Is this what you really want? I understand that you want to have a large member, but consider maybe what the ramifications of, your parents are devastated. They're sad. They want their son back. They don't want his Eiffel Tower dick sitting in the apartment. And Kendrick is like, "Oh man, I really got to take that wish back."
And also this being It's a Wonderful Life, I'm imagining like Jimmy Stewart now.
Yeah. Kendrick, I can't do Jimmy Stewart.
Damn it, you could do it better than me. Yeah. I also like the idea that Kendrick Lamar, as he's writing this lyric, maybe has like a legal pad or something where he's got like, maybe he's drawing a Venn diagram, and on one side it's world monuments,
yeah.
and the other side is buildings that look like dick. And then in the middle it's like, what is a good lyric? And he's just like making a list of all these monuments, being like, all right, what works?
The Sears Tower.
I'd like to imagine that like the Sears Tower might have been the list. Yeah. Maybe the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Ooh, you know what would be on the list? The John Hancock building in Boston.
I don't even remember that building.
Hancock. It's like this big blue building in Copley Square.
You got a big blue penis. Am I right?
That should have been it.
I would say like I would like another version of this that's about other monuments.
Just a whole song of monuments that could be dicks.
So another part of the song is after this. He goes, "God damn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Damn, I got bitches. Wifey, girlfriend, and mistress." I always thought that was like a very cute, fun way of being like, I'm a cheating asshole, right? It's like, that's right, I got my squad.
My squad.
I got wifey. Wifey. There's girlfriend. There's mistress. And then there's the bitches. And it's just like, all right.
You are an adulterer. But I'm a cute adulterer who says wifey.
You know how there's wife guys, right? We talked about wife guys before. A wife guy is someone who like their social media presence or their presence in general is their wife. So if you go to a party and you're like, "Hey, McLaren Dewitt, how's it doing?" And you're like, "I'm doing well. I'm eating these cornichons because they're tiny pickles. And I'm just thinking about how my wife is a pickle farmer and she works every day and she couldn't be there at this party because she's waking up tomorrow at 5 a.m. to go make pickles happen. And I love her so much and I miss her." And you're like, all right. So that would be a wife guy.
Oh, the old DeWitt wife. Her name is also Ms. McLaren Dewitt. I made her take my first name as well because I'm so proud of it.
So I'm wondering if there's not only wife guys, but if there's like mistress guys.
Oh, my mistress. She said the funniest thing the other day.
I could believe in let's just say a group of old rich men at a yacht club who all have mistresses. That's like a group of philandering men, right? Who are old. I imagine they like talk about their mistresses. Like they're at like the yacht club party. They're like, they definitely have like mistress talk.
Do you want to hear my last lyric?
I would like that very much.
Another quickie from the song Pride off of the album Damn. And the lyric is, I can't fake humble just because your ass is insecure. And boy, to have that kind of confidence, I love it. I love the absolute like strength in that lyric.
It is great. It's like you imagine someone before, like you walk into a room at a party and they're like, listen, don't mention the fact that you are a very successful rapper and have won 13 Grammys and have made millions, because Lil Joey in there, well, he just decided to go work in the mines and not pursue a rap career, so he's a little bit sensitive about talking about music success right now. All right, so Kendrick, if you can go in there and just, you know, be normal to him and not mention your wildly successful career, that would be great. And then Kendrick walks in the room and is like, hey, little Joey, I hear you're in the mines. Shit sucks, don't it? Well, I don't know about that because I got 13 Grammys. Want to see them? You can't because they're in my mansion.
And Joey's like, dude, I'm an 11-year-old child laborer. I had no choice. Why are you... You have so many like people who you can like shit on. Why me? I was told you were coming here to cheer me up.
These analogies are getting wild.
Yeah, they are.
I was like, I think this is a good analogy, but have I gone too far?
I love little Joey in the mines, an 11-year-old miner, child laborer, working in the coal mines of Pennsylvania just to pay off his parents' mortgage.
And then Kendrick Lamar just fucking shits on him.
Like Kendrick Lamar chooses him specifically and is just like, fuck your minds.
But he can't fake humble.
Can't fake he doesn't he could choose not to go there, but he can not fake humble.
This also reminds me of that character, we've talked about it before in this podcast, that stereotypical Long Island man who got in trouble at a party and then is like, I'm not in trouble. I did the right thing. Which you could, I feel like this, if you said this line in that voice, it would make sense.
I'd be like, it's like, bro, I can't fake humble just because your ass is insecure. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else around here thinks I'm the fucking greatest. You're coming up to me and you're going to tell me that you want me to shut my mouth? I can't fake it. I'm sorry.
Exactly. That's exactly the vibe that this lyric gives me as well. All right, so that was our Kendrick Lamar episode. We talked about 10 Kendrick Lamar lyrics, and we had a decent to average time, wouldn't you say? I
would have preferred to spend an hour listening to Kendrick Lamar, but Lyric Boys is good too.
Amazing review. I would have preferred to listen to the music they're talking about, but in a world in which those bands for some reason are out of my grasp and I have access to a podcast, this podcast was a decent substitute.
I can picture a review being left like that. Like, I would have just rather listened to the band and us being like, then do that.
Yeah, you have free agency, baby.
We're not holding your phone hostage.
The Lyric Boys podcast sucked. They made me listen to their podcast.
We're getting angry over fake haters now.
Yeah. Come at me. All right, so if you enjoy this lyrical analysis of this Lyric Boys action, then subscribe or follow Lyric Boys. We are on Spotify, we're on iTunes. Wherever you're listening to us right now, that's where we are. So if you're on that platform, give us a little follow. And that will ensure that when our episodes come out, you know about them. You're the first to see them, and you won't miss an episode. And we are also all across the internet, because baby, we're modern day men. So that means we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok and Facebook, and we're on those platforms at the Lyric Boys. So if you go there and you type the little @ symbol and you write in the Lyric Boys, you will find us. And if you ever want to reach out, DM us, whatever, you can. Sometimes we like to read those out. Sometimes we love them. I don't know. Do it. It's fun. It's nice. We'll engage. We love hashtag organically engaging with our audience. Am I right, Andrew? Don't you love organically
I love
engaging?
it. If you want to organically engage with me, go to freelancer.bandcamp.com or type freelancer in SoundCloud, and you will find a few songs in which you can press play and listen, and you will hear my voice along with my music. And if you like the music that is playing underneath this right now, you'll like what I have. You're gonna like the way you listen.
I love how you're basically telling the audience to go listen to music that you've made.
Yeah.
But the way you feel like you have to do is explain the concept of just what music is.
Okay. Okay. So music, ladies and
Audience,
gentlemen.
all right. So you know how like this is a podcast about music, but what is music if not words and feeling and emotion over some sort of instrument that
Okay.
has been
Ladies and gentlemen, Webster's Dictionary defines music as vocal or instrumental sounds or both, combined in such a way as to produce the beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. If you like one or more of those things, go to freelancer.bandcamp.com.
It's like if a car insurance commercial is like, all right, first of all, humans created the wheel. What did that mean? What could we do with the wheel? And then later it's on like, all right, so then Henry Ford Model T, along with the innovation of cars, became the drama of the first car accident. All right, insurance, what it is. You pay money, but...
Anyway, Geico.
It's like Geico sets record for a 3-hour-long commercial during airing of
During
Bob
Super
Hart's
Bowl.
during the Super Bowl. Yes.
Bob Hart's Abishola.
It's like I signed up for Bob Hart's Abishola and I got a 3-hour Geico commercial.
Oh man, do we have anything else we want to say, or should we get the fuck out of here?
I think we have overstayed our welcome, and I think we were expected to leave, Andrew. So if we can just stop right now, that would be great. Thank you.